Onward to the executive level mission. We have 7 people to talk to. I considered preloading my notes with all of their names and where they stood on things. And I thought, wait a minute. I can discover that as I go. I need to talk to every one of them anyway, and each one's got a blue dot. So we're going to start with Ularu. So I will be hopping back and forth to my notes here. So, Ularu. We need to, the 2 questions are, do we buy Infinity and do we market the Neuroamp? And I don't think we should be marketing the Neuroamp.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity LTD? I think we both know that's not going to work.
I think we're going to convince her.
Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The Internal Neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished.
And also, I want to keep Masako as CEO.
I'll overlook your poorly educated statement. For now. Throwing your competitor a lifeline when they're about to crash and burn hardly seems wise.
Lifeline, we're going to eat them. We are going to eat them, Ularu. The people that are good we're going to keep because they're the spoils of war. Ha! Because that's the way you talk to people like this. I hate her.
Well, it does make Ryujin look good. And we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting.
So she is now pro-Infinity acquisition. I plan on bringing up the Internal Neuroamp as an issue.
An issue? That would be a foolish move.
I don't think so.
Dalton and Alexis are the only 2 against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down.
It's dangerous. Believe me.
Dangerous indeed. For all I know, you're using it right now. The irony. Perhaps I didn't see it earlier, but you're right. The moment a competitor reverse engineers Veena's work, it'll be chaos.
Yep.
The last thing I want is to have my brain scrambled because some engineer didn't do their due diligence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
Okay. So we have convinced her. We're now at... it doesn't leave those up for very long. Anyway, we're done with Ularu. Might as well do them in the order that the little arrows point me at them. Who's next? Hey, it's my favorite Veena.
Your surgical wound's healing like a dream.
Yep. Okay, so Veena...
And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case.
Yeah,
One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the Neuroamp.
This thing is dangerous.
I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work.
I am so sorry, Veena. I am so sorry, but,
Fine. Make your case.
if I can persuade her. Research methods. Interesting. I know you covered all your bases in your research. You know the data against it is there.
Oh, there is adequate data to back what you're saying. More than adequate.
Yep.
Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect.
She is now anti-neuroamp. You're not a monster. You're a nice lady.
It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work? I never stopped to consider if it was right, or what it would mean. I guess it'll be up to a vote either way. It's not on the meeting agenda, so I assume you'll bring it up yourself?
Yeah.
We just have to hope the others will see reason.
It's all
So
over.
the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity LTD be?
Back at my ship, I've got a copy of this film you might want to watch called Jurassic Park. Anyway, we want her to be on our side. Pro Infinity LTD. Hey, research methods keeps coming up here.
That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
Yep. Now, I think she was initially neutral on the acquisition. It sounded like she was genuinely looking for information.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today.
Yes, I am wearing the wrong suit, but I'm wearing a good suit. So, Linden. L-I-N-D-E-N, type.
Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available.
Sure.
Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why?
Some of them are great. Majority of these workers are innocent. They didn't know what was going on.
Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of, should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees?
Oh, you think that just because people wound up there, they must be lackluster? We're going to manipulate you on this. Boom.
This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. The few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation?
It was well handled, yes.
And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement.
They already had a plan in place.
Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been.
Internal Neuroamp is dangerous, dude.
It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one. Hence the added motivation that will bolster sales.
And when the rival discovers how to override it, boom.
I think we all know how averse I am to chaos. Finances are my forte, so you make a good point. Our competition has yet to truly master neuroamps, but the possibility is there. It's a risk I am unwilling to take. At this time. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Okay. Next board member. So Linden is now converted to our way of thinking.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp.
Genevieve.
Is
Jenny,
Masako
Jenny,
checking
Jenny.
up on me to make sure I'm on her side?
Of course she is. Genevieve. Okay. I didn't realize there were sides.
In this business, there's always a side. And right now, I'm backing Masako. We just need to grab Infinity LTD while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light.
So I don't want to change her mind. I want to do this.
I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year.
Cool.
All
One more
right.
thing.
I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it.
Internal Neuroamp should be banned.
The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the Internal Neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from.
That backlash only gets worse. You'll never be able to fight it off.
You're right. The moment you violate your customers' trust, there's a good chance they'll never come back. Even worse, you push them into the hands of your competitors. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
Next board member.
If
Hey,
only there were more
Alexis.
hours in the day. If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments are solid before this meeting.
So, Alexis, what can I convince you for? You're not a fan of the acquisition.
You heard correct. I've every reason to believe that Infinity LTD is the Pandora's box of corporations.
I'm going to convince her that the pros outweigh the cons.
All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset.
So our options here, we've got manipulation, we've got commerce, and we've got diplomacy. Use manipulation. That's the whole theme of this quest line is manipulation.
Point taken. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom.
Especially with this neuroamp, which, by the way,
Don't even get me started.
oh, you're already anti.
If I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that text is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
We are on the same line. Should never see the light of day.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that.
Yep.
Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful. But now, I really do need to get back to my notes.
Certainly, Alexis. Certainly. I think at this point we have enough people, but we still have people to talk to. Down your fists. Dalton, my friend.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome.
Yeah, I refuse to use the internal
Hold
neuroamp.
on here. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. Should never go to
You
market.
read my mind.
Well, no, not
Let's
really. We
hope
just agree.
Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity LTD, we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause.
I think the acquisition's worth the risk. We can beef up the team if we need
I
to.
imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity LTD is obviously not known for their security.
Swiss cheese,
I
dude.
only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now,
So much
excuse
easier
me,
getting into their
I
place
have
than
some
ours.
preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
So I think Dalton came out pro-acquisition, but if he didn't, that really makes it 6. That still makes it 6-1. I didn't notice the writing up there. Internal Neuroamp. We've got 6 people, so I had to convince 4 people. 2 already were anti. And Masako is Masako, I think, is pro-sailing it. I don't get a chance to convince her. Let's see how the meeting comes out. Attend the meeting.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity LTD's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity LTD.
So we've got several ways to put this.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity LTD's current situation makes them more
Jedi mind
affordable than
tricks.
ever.
Arguments? None? Excellent. Moving on, then.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Of course she did.
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Oh, yeah.
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
Oh, she was one of my
I
votes to
believe
not
the only
do the
regret
Neuroamp.
would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity LTD?
Aye.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up?
I do.
The Internal Neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it? I'm waiting.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
The moment the public gets wind of the true capabilities of this tech, we're gonna suffer severe backlash.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
Veena, prep Project Dominion for storage. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
So much work to do.
And now we tie it all up with a nice
Glad
bow,
we're
I
making
think.
effort in our appearance today.
Shelving the internal neuroamp. Not the outcome I anticipated.
Ooh, it's dangerous.
A fine point, but it still proves its usefulness. The truth remains, Lucas Drexler learned a hard lesson, and we exposed a traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. Of course, but these particular assignments required a certain secrecy that most do not. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time. I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
Let's see here. So that ties that up in my next quest that it picked up automatically is go talk to Sam. Go talk to Imogene. Go talk to Imogene first. She will brief us on talk to Andreja. Everybody has opinions on what we just did. Talk to Sarah. Talk with Barrett. Open up all of these guys. So Imogene is the first one to talk to, kind of fill out the remainder of the Ryujin thing here.
I warned people that Tomo was unstable, and what happened?
Hey, Imogene.
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part.
Oops.
But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day.
Live and learn.
And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions?
I'm good.
Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course.
Okay, I'll see you around.
Will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy, just for you.
Oh, Andreja would not like it if I started flirting with her. But she's a corporate snake anyway. So they gave me my own office with a mission board and a safe and some digipicks and some various bits of loot. And they gave me a mag shear. We'll have to compare that with the other weapons. So typical missions, they've got a hacked trade tower, hack Stroud Eklund, plant evidence at Elios, and sabotage Laredo. So yeah, personally, in my real life, I'm kind of anti-corporate. So working with Ryujin has been a little bit uncomfortable for me all along. So we will probably not be coming back to do missions for Ryujin. I wonder if I can quick travel to the ship. Yes, we can. I am going to go talk to all of my companions, and we're going to do Andreja last and get her. Well, let's do her first. I will have her follow me around while I talk to everybody else. So, activity. First, Andreja. And there's Sam way down there. Sam apparently has wanted to talk to me for a long time.
I'm here for you, should you need me. I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I think it is perhaps for the best that the research program will come to an end. Where that neuroamp technology could lead, there are many bad outcomes. Too many.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly would be a
Already there
disaster.
has been too much conflict between corporations vying for this technology. First Infinity, then Ryujin. Who knows what might be next? That is certainly a possibility. The wrong goal, or the right goal approached by the wrong methods. And yes, disaster is a good word for it. The project will be shelved, they call it? As I said, too many other bad outcomes. This is for the best. With the neuroamp matter settled, we should move on to other things, yes?
Yes, we should.
It is pleasing to speak with you.
Yeah,
I look forward to it.
Let's talk to everybody else. Let's go talk to Sarah. Hey, everybody's sitting around the table.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot.
You've got something for me?
Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with them at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life.
Yeah, I'm done with them.
It is disgusting. And I'm pleased you recognized that Ryujin almost made a grievous error in judgment. After all, based on your recommendation, they've ceased their work on that disturbing neuroamp technology.
How do my companions already know about the details of that stuff?
Why wouldn't I be pleased about your decision? Can you imagine if that technology had fallen into the wrong hands? The awful things you could force people to do. Oh, it's terribly frightening.
You know what these are? You know what these are? These are the wrong hands. Oh, I can't even begin to fathom the repercussions.
Thanks to you, Ryujin will never have the chance to make that kind of horrible mistake. Well, I've certainly taken up enough of your time. Thanks for letting me get that off my mind.
And while we're talking, people wandered away. But we can talk to Sam next. Hey, Sam.
Of all the places in the galaxy, only Neon can make me feel so damn oily. And you dealt with its absolute worst. Ryujin, Infinity LTD, all of it. You doing all right? That was a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I could have taken much more.
Well, it just makes you human. How come no matter how advanced society gets, we still just can't help coming up with new horrors to inflict on ourselves? Mechs, xeno-warfare, and now this Neuroamp tech. I swear, it's the worst yet. Thank God you put a stop to it. Amen to that. With a piece of work like Ryujin, I know there isn't a good person to put in charge. I mean, I guess Masako's better than Ularu Chen.
Yeah.
But you just know if violence, or being just plain evil, was the path of least resistance, then Masako would pick it same as Ularu.
Yeah, least bad.
You're right. I know you're right. Well, the whole damned affair is over. Thank God.
You still
You
got
time
a
for a
spot.
quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able. The whole Terrormorph situation, seriously, hats off to you.
Oh, it's been a while since
When I
we've
was growing
talked.
up, everyone was afraid of Terrormorphs. How they could seemingly strike anywhere at any time. The carnage, the destruction. Stuff you've done here could save so many lives. Given time, that'll be past tense. Because of you. I don't know about these Asylees. That microbe would wipe out the Terrormorphs for good and certain. I mean, the Asylees? It'll take longer, take more hand-holding, and there's no saying the Asylees will fully get the job done. I hope for all our sake you made the right call. When you put it like that, I guess I see your point.
Oops.
The United Colonies. Hell, everyone and everywhere owes you big time. Even if they don't know it.
So yeah, some of my companions are going to be pro-microbe, and we're going to have to suck up the hits. Let's see, talk to Barrett. Because it's easier to get these conversations going if I select it first.
Neon, you think it would be peaceful with all those calm waters and beautiful sunsets. But I can't think of any town that's more stressful. Ryujin, Infinity LTD, and there you were, navigating corporate bureaucracy like a professional.
Yeah. There's a starborn thing. Leave it to humanity to bring red tape to the stars.
We're social animals, but we're also motivated by all sorts of things. Look, I know Neon is going to be Neon, no matter what any of us do about it. But I'm glad you put a stop to that Neuroamp tech. Nothing good was going to come from that.
Yeah, I don't trust corpse.
What's not to trust about them? It's a machine designed to exploit human nature to eke out a couple of extra credits than last time. But at the end of the day, they're steered by humans. They are responsible for their direction. I guess we'll find out if we can trust them if you suddenly start coming after all of us, huh?
Grrr, gotta get ya. Yeah, no, not even gonna joke about that.
I guess we'll find out. Anyway, not that I care a ton about the internal politics of some ethically dubious megacorp, but... So, Masako, huh? I mean, between her and Ularu Chen, I get it, but... You don't trust her, do you?
Hell no. Trust any of them.
Well, I trust you, and I'm glad the choice was yours and not mine. Anyway, you didn't happen to pick up any investment tips while you were in there? Just kidding. I don't even want to know.
Let's see. We have a whole bunch of talk to these guys, talk to those guys, talk to everybody. I think I have talked to all my companions now, and they're all talked out. And I am going to put in a break here. I am going to get some sleep, and we'll decide what we're going to do when we come back.
Last night. Well, all that physical training seems to have paid off.